Hey guys, let's go ahead and do our second read. It's Cinderella. Now, once upon a time, there lived a girl named Cinderella. Cinderella was smart, kind, and beautiful. Her father loved her very much, and she loved him. Cinderella had a stepmother and two stepsisters too. They did not love Cinderella. They were jealous of her and were never kind. Cinderella had to do all the chores. She mopped the floors and washed the dishes, the dirty dishes. She dusted, scrubbed, and polished every single thing in the house. One day, Cinderella's family received an invitation to a ball. The prince was having a dance and inviting all the young women in the kingdom. Cinderella ironed her stepsisters' dresses. She brushed their hair and fixed their bows. Then she waved goodbye as they skipped off to the ball. Cinderella was not allowed to go. After everyone left the house, Cinderella sat alone by the fireplace and cried. Tears streamed down her beautiful face. Oh, how I wish I could go to the ball, Cinderella sobbed. I wish that I had a beautiful dress to wear. Just then, a tiny woman with wings flew through the window. She had a wand in her hand. It was Cinderella's fairy godmother. Why are you crying, my dear? The fairy godmother asked Cinderella. I want to go too, cried Cinderella. Then you shall go, said the fairy godmother. Cinderella's fairy godmother waved her wand quickly in the air. Poof! A pumpkin transformed into a golden coach. 6 mice turned into a team of horses to pull the coach. Whoosh! Cinderella's old worn-out clothes were changed into a beautiful pink and silver gown and 2 glass slippers. What are you waiting for? Said the fairy godmother. Or, what are you waiting for? The fairy godmother asked Cinderella. You need to get to the ball. Just make sure that you come home by midnight. The prince saw as soon as she entered the ballroom. He could not believe his eyes. She was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. The prince asked Cinderella to dance. The prince soon discovered that Cinderella was smart and kind, and he fell completely in love with her. Cinderella learned that the prince was good and noble. Cinderella fell in love with him too. Soon enough, the clock began to strike midnight in the ballroom. Cinderella gasped and turned to race out of the castle. As she ran out, one of her glass slippers fell off her foot. Sound like another story, you know? Cinderella did not stop to get it. The prince rushed after Cinderella, but he couldn't catch her. He picked up the glass slipper and sighed. It belonged on the foot of the girl he loved. He vowed to find Cinderella and marry her. The prince was true to his word. With the glass slipper in his hand, he knocked on every door in the kingdom. He was looking for the girl whose foot would fit into the slipper. Every girl wished the slipper would fit, especially Cinderella's stepsisters. The stepsisters tugged and pulled on the slipper. They pushed with all their might, but they could not fit their big feet into the slipper. Cinderella watched her stepsisters as she stood next to the fireplace. At last, she stepped out so that the prince could see her. May I try it? She asked shyly. Uh-oh, my computer's acting funny again. There we go. The prince kneeled down in front of Cinderella and held out the glass slipper. Cinderella placed her foot into the slipper, and it fit her perfectly. However, the prince did not need to see that. He looked up into Cinderella's eyes. He knew that she was his true love. the prince took Cinderella back to his castle, and they were married the next day. Cinderella, who was always kind, invited her father, her stepmother, and her stepsisters to live with the prince and her in the palace. They all lived happily ever after. The end. So, the next video, we will go ahead and do a compare and contrast. Make sure that you guys watch the um, video about fairy tales. It will help you to understand the events that happen in a fairy tale. So see you guys soon. Bye.